A lot of people like to say that they can't learn from high elo because the game isn't played the same. In low elo, everyone's always fighting, so how can I do anything with my teammates? They'll just die without me. In high elo, everyone groups, but I can't get my teammates to do that, so what can I do? So the fact that it's a perma fiesta in low elo is actually a good thing. You can use it to your advantage in so many different scenarios and ways. It's all about forcing the enemy team to deal with situations that they haven't dealt with before. Sometimes this gives you big objective advantages, or just big spikes in gold and experience. In this video, I'm going to show you examples of both using gameplay of me smurfing in gold. So let's jump right into the first game here where I'm playing Zed vs Silas. I've one lane and I'm pretty strong. I have 100 CS at 10 minutes and I'm 2-0. I'm recalling to buy my first item and Dragon is coming up in 60 seconds. Now let's see what you would do here. If you were me, where would you go next? So we would accept two answers here, depending on the reasoning. If you watch me, the first place I look at is mid, because that's where I want to go. I want to go mid and clear the wave. But since our Viego is clearing mid wave, I then switch to go to top lane. Now this is because Dragon is coming up soon, and I'm going to use how fed I am to make the enemy team make multiple decisions. Now that I'm up here, I know that Xin is dead for 12 seconds still, so I can take the 1v1 on Warwick with no risk at all. I'm very fed, so it's nearly impossible to lose the 1v1. I misplay a bit so he survives, but he's still forced to use all of his summoners and go back to base. Now this is where the decisions come in for the enemy team, especially their jungler. First of all, Dragon is such a useless objective, and almost every game I'm in or see, even in higher elos, is thrown at least once for Dragon, if not multiple times. That's a discussion for another video though. Either way, by pushing down the tower on the opposite side of the map of the objective that I know both teams will go for, two things can happen. Xin Zhao either goes right from base to Dragon, or he comes to stop me. If he comes for me, my team gets Dragon for free or wins a fight because they should have a numbers up advantage. On top of this, the whole time I'm in a side lane, I'm getting golden experience from minions, whereas if I take a Dragon fight, I would be getting nothing, especially if I die. This is why it also doesn't even matter if we lost the Dragon or lost the fight. Do I really want to hope that my low elo teammates play a teamfight correctly? Not really. I would rather rely on myself in a side lane and get guaranteed gold. You might be thinking though, what about if I'm on a mage? Don't worry, we'll get into that in a bit. Anyways, I work on the tower until Xin Zhao shows up, but since I don't have ult, I can't dive him. I just take that time to recall instead, as there's nothing left I can really do. If I had ult, I would try to dive. Now that I'm back in base, Dragon is still up. Let's see if you learned anything. What would you do if you were me? Remember before I said I would go to mid to clear the wave, but Viego was clearing it. This time, he doesn't clear mid wave because he's fixated on the Dragon. This is the wrong play, by the way. You should always clear mid wave first. But either way, that means I'm going to go to mid first and clear the wave on the tower, and even clear the next one after that. Now what would you do? Stay mid for plates, go top, or go bot and dive with my team? So, if I stayed mid for plates, the enemy mid and jungle would probably stop me pretty fast. If I tried to go bot, that play would be over by the time I got there, probably. And I might not get any kills and just get all assists, so I wouldn't get any gold or experience. But since my top laner is bot lane, that gives me a window to grab mid wave like I did, then go top and grab all those minions as well. So that's exactly what I do. This is how you get those big spikes in gold or experience that I was talking about at the start of the video, whereas the first play I did that got us Dragon for free was a mixture of both gold and objectives. But anyways, I want to push all of these waves to tower. Now, I know someone will have to respond to this pressure and come grab these minions. If I can dive or kill them, that's what I will do. If I can't, I can look to rotate to mid or take jungle camps, or even recall if I want to buy my cooldown shoes. I poke Warwick for a bit and realize I'm not really getting anything done with how tanky he is and how much sustain he has. So I rotate to mid instead, where the enemy mid just died after killing our top laner under tower. The top wave should get pushed out by the enemy top anyways, then I can look to collect it again. For now, I just take this wave in mid and start working on the tower. And now we can see the enemy top had to make a decision and he made the wrong one. He should have stayed top and pushed the waves out or he would lose a lot of farm. But he saw me pushing mid, so he tries to come defend me. It's low enough that I can just take it in front of him like this. If we pause real quick, he just ulted me here and it's a good thing. It won't do much damage and is the ability that would stop me from outplaying if other people arrived. Anyways, I'm still working on the tower, then Sivir also shows up. Now I can easily just run here, which is the better play in a situation like this. But since I'm smurfing, I wanted to limit test a bit. Now, even though I pulled this off, that's actually not the important part at all. And like I said, it wasn't a good play, it was high risk, low reward. The important part here is top wave. Like I said, it would push back to us. So I made Warwick come to mid, he couldn't defend the tower, and he died. He's missing all of that farm and top, then I can recall and go back and catch it all again. So I've been basically getting 2 lanes of farm while making the enemy team respond to me but not kill me, and in a nutshell, that's what you want to do. And a big thing to understand here is how you can apply this sort of macro play in so many scenarios. For example, I'm going to do almost the same exact thing after pushing top wave real quick and recalling. Now, if you didn't get it the first 2 times, the 3rd time is the charm. Where would you go after recalling if you were me? You should know by now, I'm going right down mid. This time, the enemy tier 1 isn't there, and the enemy mid laner is fighting in bot lane. Top wave is still in the tower and top, so I'm going to just keep pushing mid. Now they are forced to make a decision again. Silas is bot lane, Warwick is top. It would only make sense that the enemy Xin would be the one to come to stop me, which makes it so he can't go help in bot lane, and if he did, I would just take this tower. He shows up, I try to dive him, but I misplayed a bit and was kind of tough with his ult. But Warwick does the same thing as before. He doesn't push out the top waves and comes mid in response to my pressure again. This is easy to survive because he's behind, but now look, Dragon is up. I could just recall here, but I want to actually use the time the enemy team and my team are contesting that, if they do, to get all of the farm in mid and top again. As expected, both teams are fighting near Dragon, so I can collect all of the CS. And a little bonus is that Warwick decided to come top as well, so I can easily kill him with my ult coming back up. Then I can take the tier 2 tower, which, if you don't know, gives a lot more gold than before now. It gives me 600 gold for taking it, which is insane. So now I'm 4-0, level 13, with 190 CS at 18 minutes. I'm easily fed enough to fight anything in this game 1v1, and I can easily carry a 5v5. Just by having a few minutes of good macro, I push my 2-0 lead into something much bigger, while also forcing the enemy team to respond to me, making fights easier for my team. But now let's look at a game where I picked a Mage to show you that this can be done on them as well. There are some champs that you shouldn't do this on though. The main ones being poke mages like Vel'Koz, Xerath, or Lux. Ziggs can actually split with how much damage he does to towers, but it's still very dangerous. Mages like Syndra or your Victor can side lane occasionally as well, as long as you know your threats and are tracking the enemy team. But for this game, I'm on Malzahar vs Qiyana. For the most part, Qiyana just runs around to every fight that happens because that champ gets movement speed for free, I don't know why, but it's Riot. So I don't try to chase her, I just push minion waves constantly, which naturally keeps me more fed than her the entire game. Only by a little bit though, since she gets so much gold from my team. But at this point, I'm 6-3 with 185 CS at 20 minutes. We're going to get a pick on Kate here, then I push mid wave of course. While doing it, I see my Tristana in bot lane, with the enemy Qiyana near bot river. Obviously, a fight will break out there soon. But you don't need to fight, use the Fiesta to get yourself pressure and more gold. And Dragon is coming up soon, so we really know something will go down for that. Instead, I finish clearing mid, then go straight to top tower while my Yi and Tryndamere do Baron. I look to take any jungle camps on the way, and if we pause here, look at Qiyana. She's where Trist was just at a little bit ago. She saw Trist on the map and had to go, because that's how the Low the Mind works. She didn't take into consideration that we could be on Baron, or that she needed to catch top wave, only that she could maybe get a kill that would be meaningless at this point anyways. Now, I'm pushing with Baron and our Tryndamere joins me. I have TP and the enemy team is 3 dragons. Dragon is coming up too, so I'm gonna ask you, should I TP and try to fight this? If I don't, they surely get Dragon Soul. Our Shen is begging me to go, so I probably should. If you're thinking, nice try McBays, we know how much you hate dragons. Yes, this is bait. Think about it. Right now, they are forced to stop us because we are 2 people pushing on the enemy top tower with Baron. If I TP to Dragon, it's at best a 4v5 fight anyway since Tryndamere won't be there, and we could just throw all of our Barons away. So, I'm just going to stay here and keep pushing. Do you think the enemy team is used to going against players who just ignore Dragon like me and this Tryndamere? Definitely not. Watch what happens when they get into situations they don't know how to deal with. If we pause, they have 2 people fighting in mid, Warwick's on the Dragon, and Qiyana came back alone to try and stop us. But she's panicking obviously, as she just lets me walk up an altar before anyone else comes back to help her. I overstay a bit afterwards trying to get the last tower, but either way, not only am I recalling with 3.5k gold, we have an easy backdoor win condition now. And how rich is this? Later on, as Elder Dragon spawns, I TP top instead, Mordekaiser stays on Dragon while Swain tries to stop me, which he obviously could never as a support Swain, and I just end the game while Mord is still slapping away a dragon. It's almost like they lost the game because they gave away so much for dragons, even their Nexus. Obviously, that's not exactly why they lost. Everyone made a million mistakes because it's low elo. It's just funny how much weight everyone puts on Dragon where they will literally give up their base for it. Alright guys, so as you can see, by putting the enemy team into situations they don't know how to deal with, and focusing on guaranteed gold, you get yourself very fed while also putting a lot of pressure on the map. The enemy team doesn't know how to deal with it, and makes even more mistakes that you can punish.
Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into ELO hell 629 times and counting, where they commentate on how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $4.99 a month if you're serious about improving.
But that's going to bring us to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it. and thanks for watching.